Greetings, everyone. This is me again, Zara Bazak. So, let's see. The Quran should be a blacklisted book, and definitely not for children over below the age of maybe. Someone can decide, please, because in it are very bad things. Um, so, Islam itself has a violent, inherently, it's violent and hatred for disbelievers. And then the hypocrites, it doesn't know, they have contradictions. The Bedouins who wanted peace in their city didn't want to go fighting and conquest of Makkah. They are called hypocrites. It's a biggest lie, the book itself, Quran. Not even healthy for adults, let alone and elderly people. So, it should be blacklisted. This is what I feel. And I can't, like when I realized what kind of a person he is and what wicked game he's playing, so how he conquered, reaching this ayat also, like this is like the last straw on the camel's back for me. You would say it's nothing, Surah 33. But what I see is the way he planned it against, making the polytheists fight the people of Yathrib. So this long time, I hope you have been doing well. Christopher Machoko, oh, welcome. No, I'm not doing well, sorry. I hope you are doing great. Thank you for being here. Yes, long time you've been away. So thank you for being here. Most welcome. Thank you for asking about me like this and being concerned. God bless you. So Christopher Machoko, shouldn't this Quran be blacklisted? Especially for the whole, like for everyone, and then children shouldn't even touch this, go near this. As you know, I make streams here. On every stream, like my audience is no kids, right? This is a very horrible book, this Quran. I think it should be kept away from children, even 9 years old children, let alone what the hadith says that Muhammad married 7 years old. And Arabia at that time, even Sayyid told me, Sayyid Yusuf, that children used to grow up, ladies would become, quite grown up at the age of 7, but I don't think so at all. Whatever the environment may be, 6-year-old must remain 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 8-year-old. We have done really bad things to our children also and ourselves. It's time we stop all this and realize I cannot accept this book for the children or for people after what I've known has happened, and his scheming, his way of cleaning Makkah and Yathrib from disbelievers, putting wrong blame on them and much blame on these people, much blame. Every other ayah, disbelievers, like that, are terrible. So I found him that terrible. What he uses God in his book, Quran, to say things against disbelievers. and that treachery should be thrown back at them and all this. He was the most treacherous person of his time. Now, what he's done here, I mean, can you believe it, how he could do this when, in Surah Hashar we're told, you can see how, where's that ayat? The disbelievers told them they would help them. They would help them. Or when they are expelled, they would go with them. Have you not observed the hypocrites? The hypocrites who say to their friends among the people of the scripture, Jews and Christians, who disbelieve. So disbelievers also. If you are expelled, we verily will go out with you, and we will never obey anyone against you. And if you are attacked, we will verily help you. But Allah is a witness that they indeed are liars. We need to, those people who have the heart to study this neutrally and see his scheming and planning and using the supreme creator, Allah, which no religion has used as he has used him, worshipping only him and only calling upon Allah, not having relations, not having relations with Allah, not taking anyone with Allah, not associating anyone with Allah. So it's quite shuddering really to see this, how he's exploited Allah the Supreme Creator, using him against these people, calling them hypocrites, disbelievers, expelling them from their own city, Yathrib, when he himself was from Makkah, and presumably we're told he was expelled from Makkah, or they wanted to kill him and then he had to go to Yathrib. So I don't have the heart to do this, but if someone can study this book and realize what kind of a person is he and give expression to what he's done here. Someone like Professor Dr. David Wood, J from P-Fender, Dr. J Al-Fadi, Dr. Al-Fadi from Sira International, other ex-Muslims, Abdullah Samir, apostate, Aladdin, apostate prophet, Nuria Khan, Haris Sultan, Ghalib Kamal is one of. So, all these professors, doctors, they've studied this and known. And Al-Masri, Adam Al-Masri. The ladies, please come up. Sarah Haider, Yasmin Muhammad, and there's Sarah K. All those. Let us unite. Okay, it's buffering a little bit. Okay, stop buffering now. So this, please, this is extremely serious. This should not be given to Islam as a religion. This is terrible. Look what he's done. And then he's blaming the polytheists of not maintaining kinship with the believers and breaking pacts. Whereas I think it was him who did this, not giving them peace in their own city, using this Allah to lie against Allah. When I was a Shia, I was shocked, like how come the religious people from different religions, believing in God, why don't they see that this religion is so true and this is the true Allah? I mean, it was so shocking for me. Now it's the other way around. Now I'm shocked about this person, this prophet. This is not at all good for children. We must, and if when your children grow up, you need to tell them what this is first. Have that prerequisite warning or something. Then make them read this book. Really, this should be for only those who study the religion of Dajjal, who want to study the religion of Dajjal. The greatest evil who will come in the end times, but I think he came 1400 years ago. So from this ayat in Surah Hashr ayat, which one is it? From 11 to 17, towards understanding the Qur'an. And please, that movie I saw, which one was it? Dead Poets? No. With Honors, Harvard University. Yeah, so the quote from there, please filter it from yourself. Our youths should realize, shouldn't be reading this and gulping everything they read and what they get from the Islamic history. Should be critically analyzing this and not being afraid of critically analyzing this book. So, not being afraid to be killed as blasphemers or apostates or criticizing Islam. Hypocrites, labeled as hypocrites. So where was I going? I forgot. Looking at this Surah Hashr ayat. And this. Really, look, from this ayat, right? You can tell. Sorry, I can't give you the number of this ayat. Volume 18, Holy Quran. It's from the Shia website, al-islam.org, about Surah Hashr. Oh yeah, I was going to the quote, With Honors movie. Where is it? Walt Whitman's poem part is in it. I'm kind of slow today. Again, Walt Whitman's filter it. I can't find words. You shall no longer take things at second or third. Is this Goodreads.com? Shall I go? No. Song of Myself by Walt Whitman. Part of his is in this movie, the quote, "You shall not look through my eyes either, nor take things from me. You shall listen to all sides and filter them from yourself." Very important. Very important. But I used to think, where's the filter inside of me? Right? I can't find the filter. I'm so conditioned then when I read Jiddu Krishnamurti, I realized that, oh my God, that's why I couldn't find the filter in myself. How do you know where is the filter? We were told the right channel is the Ahle Bayt. And don't go, from the Christian's point of view, it's the Holy Spirit. So don't go to any spirit coming or any jinn. Don't take help from jinns. Also in the Qur'an ayats, right? But then Suleiman took help from jinns. And we're told we must, take their examples to do what? God has given us these messengers and righteous people's examples, his chosen ones, to follow them. So, Oh my God. So the devils died for Suleiman, and God was a Hafiz. It's really I don't know how they make sense of it and how I've made, well, in other ways, like I took it, this has come out to be a terrible book, the Qur'an. So only this quote, this part I've given, not the whole quote which is in the movie. You can check. If you are attacked, we will verily help you. I'm still amazed. I'm still shocked. How did he manage to clean all this up? Because here we're told that the hypocrite disbelievers and Jews, Christians, all these were united. They had a pact treaty which he broke between them. He tried. But no, they will never because they are lying. So how could he stop the polytheists, Jews, Christians, to not be able to help each other where Muhammad was attacking them and using Allah? Huh? Has someone done a thorough research and come to the conclusion or not about this in this way? How could he clean up? It's not God, like we're told in Surah Taha that God helped, and in the Bible, God helped Moses from Pharaoh by being killed. So it's not like that, God saving Moses, as they would have us believe that Prophet, like in all this, these hypocrites, highest hypocrites, the greatest hypocrites were at the time of Prophet Muhammad, disbelievers and all, right? And God helped him against them. And there were very few believers, according to Shia research. And Imams, sayings. They had lots of enemies, lots of enemies. It's so negative that, every other person is your enemy. So one time as a Shia, I had to take my step out of Shia Islam and see that the enemy then is not inside, it's not outside. First of all, the enemy is inside. Foreigners started to write books, help us, that thy happiness is in thyself, right? And we were told that your worst enemy, whose quote is this? Like the worst enemy is in you, yourself, and the best friend is in you. So people can try to pull you down. There are people, there are covert Nazis, there are evil people. But I just stepped out of this religion. There are some good Jews, and they are remaining Jews. They're not Muslim. They didn't change, right? Because here it's like there are good Jews, but they became Muslims. But for me, like for example, there are Jews. There are very good Jews. I lived in a Jewish neighborhood in London. I had a Jewish dentist practicing at his house. We used to go there, and the wife was so good. She told my mother, if you don't mind, because you're from the Gulf, can we be friends? Like that, we were sitting in her kitchen, right? My brother was there. The dentist, her husband, was doing the work on my brother. And I was there, and I heard her say this to my mother, if you don't mind, and all this. So my mother said, no, I don't mind. It's my husband who is from the Gulf. So she said, would your husband mind if you become my friend? Such a great lady. And we never had any problems given to us by the Jewish neighborhood, by any Jew. So how could I think what the oh, and then in our so I was like, oh great, in our Shia Islam we have Bibi Fatma Zahra's Kahani, Prophet Muhammad's daughter. Sometimes I call her like this. I forget, sorry, slip of tongue, because as I was a Shia, sometimes let's say, but respecting when I talk against her, then I don't call her Bibi. So, anyways, Lady Fatima Zahra has this miracle story. In the miracle story, the Jew father of a bride to be goes to her house to invite her, and she asks her father, "Shall I go?" And then the father says, "Ask your husband." And so the husband, they allow her, something like this, right? The story goes. So they were Jews, and she went there, and for the Shias, so that doesn't make us hate the Jews or generalize. That's why this thing. Anyways, but what the Quran is saying now, even the Imam sayings and all these miracle stories coming from Bibi Fatma Zahra, and if you forget, then your house will be destroyed, you will be destroyed. If you do a wish that I will read this story, and every night also reading that Maula Mushkil Kusha, Imam Ali's story, if you forget, you know, the wish you've made a promise to God, then your house will be destroyed. And some Sayyids told us now not to read that part. It's not right of that story also. That the woman who forgot and didn't read the story, she had promised herself and she forgot or something, then the whole house was destroyed, and this and that. So some Shia Sayyids tell us not to read that part anymore. That's not right. So which part is right now? Later on they start to say these things, Shias. And which part is wrong? So this, many things like this in the Quran we have. It should be treated like a bad omen, bad news. Terrible. So the Muslims may have thought that, this is the time of, I don't know, it's like one of the darkest times. Religion had gone. Jesus Christ was not coming back, but had promised a paraclete who would come and judge between righteousness and right and wrong. All this with the stern, with the sword or something. Paraclete. So this is why this, and we got zapped into it, this religion. The end of time, Prophet Muhammad would come. A prophet would come. So this, it has been, all this. How we got into this trapped into this. Making the Ahlul Bayt seem so good, victimized, oppressed by these hypocrites so badly, disbelievers. This is a very negative picture of the world. People. I tell you that even worldly people, in Europe, if you would say, I don't mean to put anyone down like this, but let's say, the materialistic atheists and all, for example, Haris Sultan was saying, giving the percentage of how many there are these atheists in Europe, in countries, Sweden, where, I can't remember, sorry. But they're very good people. Very good. And like they have such less crimes and all, corruption in those countries. So it doesn't make them bad people. Being disbelievers and being atheists, being materialistic, right? And then we say, oh, that's a test for the believers. Shaitan is putting on a good face, right? We should do better. But look at the example we've set, and look at the example he's set. In some of the Muslim countries, now we need to rethink and be, what do you call that? If you're brainwashed, then we need to de-brainwash. You see, leave, like Shakti Goen has written in her book, do your best, leave the rest to God. I've tried to do my best, become a good person, but I have a problem, a different case of some, God knows what this witch, black magic is. That this witch, someone told me, has your remote control in her hand. Our remote control in her hand. Hers too, the person who told me. We need to see this clearly for the betterment of the world, helping people, helping Shias, helping Muslims, Sunnis also. Like I didn't want to, in anger. Whenever in anger, it doesn't work that way. So I don't know what's gotten into me since childhood. I mean, something like I can, about my case, right? I don't want to speak about it now, but I know something like ill will of someone that I should go bad. I've seen it in Indian movies also, like they've given proof to me about my life. And also English movie, like Alfred Hitchcock's movie Spellbound. The guilt complex gets to the person. The environmental, dirty, bad things. For example, a child, if heavily criticized, child learns. A child learns what he's forgotten that a child learns what he's. Where's the quote? I had this, kept it on my wall for some time. A child learns what he's taught. If you heavily criticize a child, children learn what they live. By Dorothy Law Nault. Nalte or Nault. If a child lives with hostility, he learns to fight. If a child lives with ridicule, he learns to be shy. If a child lives with shame, he learns to feel guilty. This is very important. Thank you for what Dorothy Law. No copyrights infringement intended. Please, I had this whole. I had bought this thing and put it on the wall for some time. Children learn what they live. This is very important. Heavily criticizing children is also not good. Loving ways. And we were told that some people used to tell us that pampering children, it's not pampering like you spoil the child. Spare the rod and spoil the child. This love is something people don't believe in. They say, oh, if you love your child too much, it's like pampering your child, and then you spoil that child. And then our adults, they discipline them in such ways, it's not right, it's unhealthy. These religions that say discipline in the hard way, I don't believe in that at all. Through experience, if I, like that test on rats, don't let it go to the cheese, so torture, give that current to the rat, electrocute the rat, so it would, mice or something, it would not go to the cheese. Then it will stop going to the cheese, yeah. So like someone could electrocute me, or I could electrocute myself to get rid of this bad habit. Let's say smoking, or a psychiatrist electrocuting a insane person who is aggressive or who starts to hit his mother, his sister. Take him to the psychiatrist, electrocute him, put him in that electrocuted chair. Goodness. Doesn't work that way in the long run. It may prevent it for the time, but it destroys the person's brain and all. Oh God, it makes the person. Don't torture people to punish them like that, please. Use gentle methods. You see, so from childhood, if a child learns how I've become, you can torture me. Maybe that time I will stop. I'll become miskeen, meek. But then again, I'll start to do it. What does Rumi say? It's my heart that's gone crazy. Now, what would you do to the heart? It's my heart that's gone crazy. So from childhood, it's my heart that's gone crazy. Rumi. It's that poem of Rumi, it's my heart that's gone crazy. Wow, your heart is the size of an ocean. Go find yourself in its hidden depths, Rumi. It's my heart that's gone crazy. Maybe Shahram, the website, Shahram Shiva, I cannot, because he's got copyrights, very strong ones. It's my heart that's gone crazy. No copyrights infringement intended. Oh, Rumi says, forget safety. Live where you fear to live. Destroy your reputation. Be notorious. LinkedIn. You can't tame my heart, can you? You can't tame my love. Song also titled, You Can't Tame My Love. Oh God, so much damage done to humanity. It's and this is this is terrible. I mean, this, I realize so awful. Qur'an, Islam. So this one consistency person, and he's Jiddu Krishnamurti, I found it. Without any guru. Oh, Jiddu. You see all these methods used by, he says, gurus and all this also is not right. Total freedom. We want total freedom. He has such consistency and such grace in him. Amazing, amazing. And no contradictions. So he says, don't even use to discipline yourself. You want 5 times prayers. Brush up on your manners. You need dua, you need this prayer, program, prayer, dua. I always forget. Makaramal, akhlaq, makarim akhlaq. You see this? This dua has been taught by Imam Sajjad and is a clear indication of the loftiness and moral virtues expected of a believer. Islam believes in the elevation of the human being, that a human is a great and dignified creation far above the animal world. One of the signs of this dignity is the possession of noble and magnanimous qualities. In order to achieve this behavioral excellence, man needs to overcome his base and selfish attributes. Overcome his base and selfish attributes and cultivate noble qualities. Maybe take up God's attributes, right? Because how can we be saved by what? Our base selfish attributes that are inherent, that started from Adam, or when he was weak, not determined to keep himself safe from satanic whispering and deception, misleading him. One of the signs of this dignity is the possessions of noble. Okay, now where am I? In this dua, the Imam specifies these qualities and shows how we can try to inculcate them in ourselves. I've been trying, I tried, failed, had nervous breakdowns, then later on in my madness, anger, rage. Taken as a lesson in akhlaq, the dua is a wonderful program for those who wish. Of course, I wish to excel in good manners, right? And make my certainty and most excellent certainty, O Allah, and take my intention to the best of intentions and my works to the best of works. O Allah. Well, you have to put a scarf and do wuzu and all this before this, right? Rectify my certainty through what is with you and see right and set right what is corrupt in me through your power. That's what we need, through His power, because we are powerless, right? Oh Allah, oh goodness, Muhammad and his, household, spare me the concerns which distract me. Employ me in that about which you will ask me tomorrow. So you can do this. Very good dua. But somewhere I had to criticize it. You see, in Surah Hud, is it? These chosen servants tell the others that Allah, because we believed in the one God or something, that's why Allah has chosen us and made us above all the people also, like in another ayat. But the important part is that we have the mercy of Allah. So since the disbelievers are deprived of the mercy of Allah, how can they even see? But if you believe in this one God, they say, and follow us, it just doesn't make sense, right? Surah Hud. I was asking, I thought, believe in one God, like at least that much, right? Although not a good believer, and do not worship except Allah. Indeed, I am to you from Him a warner and a bringer of good tidings. And saying, seek forgiveness of your Lord and repent to Him. He will let you enjoy. Yeah, see this, a good provision for a specified term, and give every doer of favor his favor, i.e. reward. But if you turn away, then indeed I fear for you the punishment of a great day. To Allah is your return, and He is over all things competent. Unquestionably they, i.e. the disbelievers, turn away their breasts to hide themselves from Him. Unquestionably. First of all, you can't even see Allah. What is the evidence of Allah? Even when they cover themselves in their clothing. Oh my God. Yeah, like a kufr, veils. Allah is hidden in 7 veils, by the way. Only these signs, through His signs can we come to know Allah. And when these signs have failed here, what do we do then? He, i.e. Allah, knows what they conceal and what they declare. Indeed, He is knowing of that within the breast. And there is no creature on earth but that upon Allah is its provision. And He knows its place of dwelling. Okay, where's that? The messengers coming now. And it is He who created the heavens, back from the punishment for a limited time. And we give man a taste of mercy from us. Okay, now when man has mercy from Allah, and then we withdraw it from Him, of course he would be despairing and ungrateful. No doubt about that. Why would you testing Him? So on the other hand, testing Him. We are testing Him. But this mercy is, look how, so now from this 9th ayat of Surah Hud, Allah says that if we give man a taste of mercy from us, and then we withdraw it from him, you know what mercy is? Please don't put your children in this. You know what mercy, how important mercy is? Without mercy, Rahmaniyat or Rahim. And if we give man a taste, minna, rahmatan, Rahman, not even Rahim, Rahman, then we withdraw it. I don't think this is right for Allah to do this. Without Allah's mercy, what happens? There is despair, there's all the evil comes in. Absence of light, there's darkness, right? Allah is blaming man for this. And mercy is in his hands. But why would you take away this? Let's see. 10th. But if we give him a taste of favor, okay, favor after hardship. Favor is something else. Mercy. Now Allah, what? Please, we need your mercy then for all times, even to have the courage to go through the dark times. If you remove this mercy, it's darkness, right? It's all evil. But if we give him a taste of favor after hardship has touched him, he will say, this is okay, like a favor, but mercy should be always there for anyone who wants it, never withdrawn from him. Only through Allah's power, like once I realized this, that without Allah's power, what can I do? Everything I do is wrong, would be wrong from my will, my willpower. On the other hand, we're told that we Muslims should submit their will to Allah. Bad times have left me, indeed, He's exalted. So in this way, like, you know how we took these Qur'an ayats? Is that God is testing us. But please have a look again, closely examine this. I know God is testing you believers, you would say, and we should have, who is the one without Allah to say, you alone? Then, you know what I'm unable to express right now, explain. It is He who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, throne rests upon it, water to that He may test you. Who of you is better in conduct? Something missing here. You know that free will and determinism and the all-powerful Allah? Just tell me, without Allah, can there be any good from you? Right? All good comes from Allah. And evil comes from yourselves. So here we have a fallacy in the Qur'an ayat against, if the mercy is removed and all that from Allah, power of Allah, we've submitted our will to Allah, right? Surah Nisa 79. Whatever reaches to you of good is from Allah. But whatever befalls you of evil is from yourself. Even Hazrat Yusuf said, remember that ayat I was showing you? If Allah had not mercy on me, my soul would be the soul is inclined to evil. Put it that way in Surah Yusuf ayat, right? So how can you expect man to be good without your mercy? If you remove the mercy, which He has said, for the time being, if I remove the mercy, test them, let's say the believer said that He's testing us, then what good can come out of us? Failed religion. I can go on, but I'm not well versed in talking philosophically, also layman's way. You know, I'm like that, an amateur. Isn't there a contradiction here? It's from yourself. And we have sent you, O Muhammad, for mankind as a messenger, Islam awakened. Let's see the full ayat. Messenger, whatever befalls you of the good is from Allah, and whatever befalls you of the evil is from yourself. and we have sent you for the people as a messenger. But what is inherently any good here? Is it from man or is it from Allah? Sent you for people. That's why religions I don't believe in anymore. And sufficient is Allah as a witness. Whatever befalls you, it says here. But what about the inherent? You see, inherently the soul is prone to evil. We need the spirit, like the Christians say. That's why the Christians say, Jesus Christ, on our own we cannot do any good. God has tried, tested us through all these messengers, Moses, Jacob, this, that, right? We need a savior. On our own, there's no good in us without Allah gracing us with that good. You see, contradiction in the Qur'an ayats about this also. When God removes the mercy, Rahman, Rahmaniyat is everywhere, should be. There's not a time where Rahmaniyat should not be available to us or removed from us. Otherwise, we'll be like raging animals, monsters, eating each other, cannibals even. We cannot do any good without the Rahmaniyat of Allah. This is the most basic, fundamental thing given here. And it should be available all times. Never removed. I was told Rahmaniyat was Fir'aun. That's why, due to his Rahmaniyat, he gave angels to talk like this when they don't have free will. Due to his Rahmaniyat, he gave respite. Right? The Christians say free will, but we say, don't we believers or Shias, Muslims, Sunnis say, it's his Rahmaniyat, due to his Rahmaniyat, he gave time, respite to Fir'aun, to Shaitan, Iblis, meaning. So how can he say in Surah Hud that when I remove my Rahmaniyat, of course, if you remove the man becomes ungrateful. Yeah, quite funny, I tell you. So I crack up. What can I do now? Either get angry, deeply hurt. You see what you've done, or what he's done. This way is also wrong. Oh my God, confusion in children. If you contradict, if you give contradictory views. We used to say, oh, this is like Hazrat Khidr and Moses is saying. What did we call it? There was something. The phenomenal contradiction, the mercy. What contradiction? So there's this divine contradiction or something. It's called, not divine, but there's a word for it. Sorry, I've forgotten it. Paradox. Paradox, right? The paradox in religion. The paradox of Hazrat Khizr. Excuse me, my stomach is crawling. I need to have some breakfast. Meeting Khizr, our own evergreen master. The paradox of something. Shia Islam, you see, or Islam. In Islam, the paradox. If I could get this article. Oops, sorry, excuse me. Some paradoxes of Islam. Forced conversions of non-Muslims, especially of idolaters, Hindus, Buddhists, animists, etc. Imperial expansion for the establishment of global Islamic. This is not what I was looking for, but analysis of some of the unclear ayat, paradoxical ayat. Al-Islam, yeah, this. Shia, let's get the Shia. Mansur Laghai. The analysis of the unclear ayat, paradoxical ayats. In this lesson, we shall demonstrate some examples from the ayat seen paradoxical. Monotheism or pluralism, the paradox of I or we. Islam is a monotheistic religion, indisputably. Consider the following. So I'll just skip some, sorry, I don't mean any disrespect. And indeed we created man from dried clay, and we created, okay, if you created, is it you who created, or are we the creator? Surah 56, ayat 59 also. The above and many such examples in the Qur'an have caused confusion for some non-Muslims as well as Muslims who are unaware of the rhetorical styles of human literature. The followings are the main answers suggested by Muslim scholars. We is an expression for God and its agents. Problem. Or did we create the... No. So about this we is an expression of glorification. So what does Shia say? What we is determinism or free will. So this the Shias have tried to explain to us. The Quran is there. Any determinism, free will? Sorry, I didn't complete the sentence. Read the complete sentence. And had Allah willed, He would have gathered them together all on true guidance. Surah 6, ayat 35. On the other hand, the followers of free will refer to the same ayah to conclude that God, see how all explain. This poor guy, this religious scholar. So I could go to the Eastern, Western philosophy, spiritualism, and find their way and be so confused. I don't know what to believe in anymore. Do you want to guide him? Oh God, you can go on studying this Quran ayat through argument, suggest, for instance, Allah has created physical law. I've already done this in, I don't know, this is a new article. Didn't find it online at the time, many years back, when I was doing Shia Sunni research and all this. Paradoxical statement due to different conditions. Or if even, what is Karbala? Is it true? It's my religion. How true? How great? Like, give me words. Tejani. Oh, I was so overwhelmed reading Tejani. Then I was guided. Ask those who know if you do not know. Right? And then, so be not weak and ask not for. Shias feel they've worked it out. Paradoxical statements due to variety of aspects of a narration. Sheikh, he's a Sheikh, yeah, with the Sheikh, sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful. Mansur Laghai. Don't waste your time on this, Sheikh. Why you wasted? Paradox. You can read all this, right? Didn't stick to my mind. I mean, I could read this, and then when a crisis didn't stick. Problem of evil in Islam. Read this. I've read it. Problem of evil. Imam Hussein says something. Is it Jawad? Oh, in Shia Islam. Divine justice and problem of evil. Is this the one? Very rarely do I find that one. Ghulam Hussein Adil. Divine justice and the problem of evil is a fundamental question and one of the most discussed topics among theologians and philosophers. Divine justice and the problem of evil. In a religious context, justice of God is called theodicy. The word theodicy is derived from the Greek word for God, theos, and the Greek word dike. For justice is the word problem of evil. If God is just, why is there so much evil? There are many people who suffer from anxiety and pain in their daily existence, which may seem to make it implausible to argue that a loving Creator exists. One can understand a perfectly loving God must abolish all pain. Oh, yes, but why does He then test us? I don't know. The simplified thinking is that if He cannot free mankind from their suffering, He is not perfectly loving and omnipotent. If we assume God is omniscient, omnipotent, and has perfectly created the world, then why are these catastrophes like death, war, earthquakes, poverty, hunger, and bitter conditions of life? This therefore implies that perhaps God is not powerful. Catastrophes, accidents. Okay, skipping some, destroy evil, responding to the dilemma. This dilemma. I skip some. God, number one, God is omniscient, omnipotent. Justice is part of the perfection and omniscience, hence God is just. I read this maybe long time ago. The general features of the Augustine's theodicy. Theodicy, and it goes on. Allah Bachara. He spent so much of his time, I think it's Jawad or Javed. Javed by, where is it? Earthquake, suffering, Pathias. Pathias? I don't open this. Where is it? Where's that article? Oh God, it doesn't. What did Imam Hussein say? Oh, this is. Can't find that. Another one. YaqeenInstitute.org. Solution. Suffering is a global phenomenon. God's wisdom, knowledge, all-knowing, this it. Oh my goodness. Oh, we have Javed Ghamedi's problematic views about Sufis, Sunnis, and Shias. Okay, the topic is, let's just for a moment. Recent PW surveys revealed that only 50% of mainstream Sunnis in Pakistan accept Shias, only 50% as Muslims, accept Shias as Muslims, and that at least 30% of the Sunnis think that Sufi, Barelvi Sunni Muslims are non-Muslims. Reasons for such, now we have another problem here, and it's clear, you see. Reasons for such widespread intolerance about Shias and Sunni Sufi Barelvis are to be found not only in Takfiri madrasas and militant groups, but also in seemingly moderate scholars. We present one such example in this post of a person who is perhaps one of the most influential moderate clerics in Pakistan's upper middle class, Javed Ahmad Ghamidi, born in 1951 in Sahiwal, Punjab, is Pakistan's leading Islamic scholar who is known for his Nawiyah problem. This recent problem also, who is known for his relatively progressive interpretations of the Quran and Hadith. In his own words, he is inspired by the teachings of Maulana Amin Ahsan Islahi, 1904 to 1997, and Maulana Hamiduddin Farahi, 1863 to 1930. He is also inspired by teachings of Ibn Taymiyyah, 1263 to 1328. He was also associated with Maulana Maududi for a few years, whose translations in Quran.com we read about the Quranites and on the Quranites. For a few years before parting ways with the Jamaat-e Islami. Oh, he is the founder of Maurid Institute of Islamic Sciences and its sister organization, Danish Sara. According to his own website, Al Maurid, Ghamidi has drawn, is it Ghamdi or Ghamidi? Sorry if I pronounced this name wrong, has drawn heavily from the Quran thought of his two illustrious predecessors, Hamid al-Din Farahi and Amin Ahsan Islahi, presenting many of their views in a major, precise manner. However, many of his contributions to the Islamic thought are original. On the same website, Ghamidi is claimed to have presented the framework of Islam, Haqiqat-e-Din, which is a representative of a complete interpretation of Islam in contrast with the two other prevailing interpretation of Islam in the Muslim Ummah, the tasawwuf-based interpretation and the jihad-based interpretation. Ghamdi, I think they call him Ghamdi, not Ghamidi. So, sorry about this. Negates tasawwuf, Sufism, treating it as a parallel religion to Islam. He also negates violent jihadist interpretation and enforcement of Islam. Okay, and however, in the past, he is known for supporting Afghan Islamist Mujahideen militancy in Afghanistan. Ghamdi is known for his non-violent approach to different sects of Islam and also towards other faiths. Ghamdi is not a takfiri. He does not treat Shias or Sunni Sufis as infidels. He treats them as deviant sects of Islam, who can be treated as kafir, infidel, only when a state, Pakistan or Saudi Arabia, formally apostates them, just as the state of Pakistan did in the case of Ahmadis. What is unmistakable in his ideology is the fact that he remains inspired by a puritanical ideology. Ghamdi has a not so subtle anti-Shia and anti-Sunni Sufi tone to his talks, but Ghamdi and his thought leaders and predecessors, Amin Ahsan Islahi and Farahi, Ibn Taymiyyah, etc., are known for their nasibiyat. While he does not advocate violence, his narrative is one of exclusivism and is an anathema to a pluralist society. This is precisely the sort of discourse that dehumanizes the other. Even if Ghamdi does not advocate violence, his narrow and exclusive discourse provides justification to those who want to apologize, ignore, and misrepresent the ongoing Shia genocide in Pakistan. Terrible. Oh my God. Ongoing Shia genocide. It's still ongoing? Sorry, I didn't see the date when this was written. It is therefore no surprise that despite his non-Takfiri approach to Shias and Sunni Sufis, meaning Barelvis, something which distinguishes him from violent Takfiri clerics, Ghamdi generally negates almost all traditions in which the Ahl Bayt of the Prophet have been praised. Very good. Slowly, even, where Prophet Muhammad has been praised in the Qur'an ayats. Surah Fatah 9 will go. Ghamdi's views on the great sacrifice of Imam Hussain in Karbala are completely in line with those of Zakir Naik, Israr Ahmad, Islahi ibn Taymiyyah, etc. Although he is not as transparent, he exonerates Yazid from the murder of Imam Hussain and other members of the Prophet's family. He blames Ibn Ziyad for Hussein's murder. Definitely, yeah, so would I. And terms the entire incident as an afsosnak hadsa between the Muslims of that time. A regrettable accident. अच्छा हादसा बन के कोई ख्वाब बिखर जाए तो क्या हो? Amitabh Bachchan in Silsila, the poem. वक्त जज्बात को तब्दील नहीं कर सकता, दूर हो जाने से एहसास नहीं मर सकता. ये मोहब्बत है दिलों का रिश्ता, ऐसा रिश्ता जो ज़मीनों की तरह सरहदों में तकसीम नहीं हो सकता. तू किसी और के रातों का हसीन चांद से ही मिस्टिसा, तू किसी और के रातों का हसीन चांद से ही मिस्टिसा, मेरी ख्वाबों के, मेरी राह के, मेरी महफिल के, I've forgotten. हर रंग में शामिल तू है, तुझसे रोशन है मेरे ख्वाब, मेरी उम्मीदें, मैं जिस राह से गुजरूं, मेरी मंजिल तू है. Sorry, I forgot in the middle, in between something. Afsosnak hadsa, a regrettable accident. This a contextual assessment of Karbala is in stark contrast with the analysis of Karbala by other Sunni and Shia scholars who support Imam Hussein's just opposition, qiyam, to Yazid ibn Muawiyah's illegitimate rule. We are not bothered about legitimate historical and interpretational differences in Islam. However, we are concerned that in a society where radical takfiri violence against Shias, Sunni, Barelvis, Christians, Ahmadis, etc. is commonplace, Javed Ghamdi's unfair othering of Sunni Sufis and Shias and frequent insults of their practices may be contributing to the current persecution and genocide. See, this is the thing. Why can't Shia, Sunni, Salafi, etc. scholars treat all sects and schools of thought? Yes, you must not criticize each other of thought as equally respectable and legitimate interpretation of Islam instead of directly or implicitly declaring each other deviant, polytheists, lesser Muslim or non-Muslim. You see how these Muslims have problems within themselves. In our view, it is legitimate if a person considers Imam Hussein as an illegitimate rebel, Baghi, and Yazid as a legitimate ruler. Also, it is legitimate if someone does not believe in Ya Rasulullah, Ya Ali, or thinks that imamat has no basis in Islam. It is equally legitimate if a person believes in traditions that show that Hazrat Umar attacked Hazrat Fatima's house, the dearest daughter of Prophet Muhammad, in order to extract oath of allegiance, bayah, from her husband, Hazrat Ali. Where was Imam Ali? Okay, but that's another. Notwithstanding historical differences, our only aim is to discourage a puritanical approach to Islam in which one sect is shown better or inferior than others. It's so sad what the Muslims are doing. Both Shia and Sunni. Muslims, Salafis, you name them. Each one of them insulting it. I've seen this, yes. Particularly by a person of Ghamdi's stature, is that this leads to further intolerance and othering the other. You are the other, I'm the other. Division, which in turn feeds into the current atmosphere of sectarian violence against Shias and Barelvis. In this post, we provide a collection of video clips and articles by Javed Ghamdi and his team, Al-Mawrid, to illustrate our assertion that Ghamdi and his team members engage in othering of Sunni Sufis and Shias. Karbala and Imam Hussein. The following note about Ghamdi is based on views expressed by Sunni and Shia commentators at a different website. So here we have the evidence and all this. ओह या अली मदद कहना शिर्क है और एक अहमकाना बात है. Ahmaqana, insulting. According to Ghamdi, those who say Ya Ali are polytheists, mushrik, and fools. Insult. Rasulullah को हाजिर नाजिर समझना गलीज तरीन शिर्क है. Oh, it is the worst form of polytheism to consider Prophet as Hazir and Nazir. Shirk hai, Ya Rasulullah. Hazrat Ali and Muawiyah. Ghamdi rationalizes. You see the problems here? I go in like a shock silence, even though I know this exists. Again and again reading it up to totally atak, stuck. I get kind of stuck. Ghamdi rationalizes Muawiyah's mutiny, Baghawat against a legitimate ruler, Hazrat Ali, the Khalifa-e-Rashid. He presents a false neutrality between Hazrat Ali and Muawiyah and exonerates Muawiyah under the cover of ishtihadi, ghalti, and lack of information. Of course, he will not use similar logic to exonerate Abu Jahl or Abu Lahab, right? You see the contradictions? This I've seen in the Muslims coming here. Then someone like a political or someone comes grass fest, you berate it, you keep berating, and getting angry. I say, please cooperate. Some other side, see, because on one hand here, you may seem you are logically correct, but on the other hand, you do the same thing as Maulana Javed Ghamdi does. You don't see the contradiction there. You see the and What is against you, you see, I don't know what this is really. Be consistent. Ya Rasulullah को हाजिर नाजिर समझना गलीज तरीन शिरक है. It's not me, ex-Muslim. It's a Javed Ghamdi Maulana, Muslim. It is the worst form of the worst form of polytheism to consider Prophet as Hazir and Nazir. Very good. We are laughing really. Funeral rituals, Qur'an, Khwani and Chahlam. Kul और 40वां नाजायज़ रसूम है, यानी रसम है. There is no basis of kul and chahlam in Islam. Question about a naat. Sare nabi tere dar ke sawali. Sare nabi. According to Ghamdi, this phrase is completely wrong. Allah and Qur'an have stopped from it. Allah and the Qur'an have stopped from it. It has no basis in the Qur'an or Hadith. Huh? Completely wrong. Sare Nabi tere dar ke sawali. No. What about Surah Fatah at 9? Exalt him morning and evening. The Prophet, not Allah. God knows. Prophet is dead in his grave. Imamat. Okay. Now on Imamat. According to Ghamdi, Shia Islamic notion of Imamat and Imam Mahdi has no basis in Islam. There is no Imam Mahdi, no basis in Quran or Sahih Hadith. Really? Imam Mahdi? But no, because I maybe, no, in Muslim there is. Imam Mahdi will be of my progeny. I thought Hadith. Oh, this is Sunan Abu Dawud, Book 31. Chapter 1568. Kitab al-Mahdi, the promised deliverer. Is this Sahih? Sitta Sahih? Narrated Jabir ibn Sumura. The Prophet said, the religion will continue to be established till there are 12 caliphs over you, and the whole community will agree on each of them. I then heard from the Prophet some remarks which I could not understand. I asked my father, what is he saying? Is the problem? And he said, all of them will belong to Quraysh. Narrated Jabir ibn Sumura, number 4267. I heard the Apostle of Allah say, this religion will continue to be strong till the time of 12 caliphs. Okay, it says caliphs, not imams. The people then uttered, Allah is most great, and uproared. He then silently spoke a word which I could not understand. Okay. So I said to my father, what did he say, father? He said, all of them will belong to Quraysh. Jabir version. Prophet raised up in it a man, family, whose father's name will be same as mine. The world will not pass away before the Arabs are ruled by a man of my family whose name will be the same as mine. Sufyan's version says. Abu Dawud, the version of Umar and Abu Bakr is the name as that of Sufyan. Narrated Ibn Abu Talib. The Prophet said, if only one day of this time world remained, Allah would raise up a man from my family who would fill this earth with justice as it has been filled with oppression. Narrated by Salma al Mu'mineen. The Prophet said, the Mahdi, you see this? The Mahdi will be of my family, of the descendants of Fatima. Abdullah ibn Ja'far said, I heard Abu al-Malli praising Ali ibn Nufail and describing his good qualities. Who's Ali ibn Nufail? Maybe some other companion. But what did Prophet Muhammad say about Mahdi? Here, number 4271. And why have the Shias will tell you why in Sahih Bukhari, maybe Muslims say they have left this out. It's only in Abu Dawud. Again, right? Yes. One is from Salma, another book 31, number 4272, narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. The Prophet said, the Mahdi will be of my stock and will have a broad forehead, a prominent nose. He will fill the earth with equity and justice, as it was filled with oppression and tyranny. He will rule for 7 years. Oh, there's more coming. So many. So Mahdi is mentioned by name. The Mahdi. What's in Arabic, Arabic people? The Prophet narrated Salma al-Mu'mineen, number 4273. The Prophet said, disagreement will occur at the death of a caliph, and a man of the people of Medina will come flying forth in Makkah. Some of the people of Makkah will come to him, bring him out against his will, and swear allegiance to him between the corner and Maqam. An expeditionary force will then be sent against him from Syria. Sorry, I can't pronounce this word probably. Swallow. There will be a man of the Quraysh whose maternal uncles belong to Qalb, and sent against it. Muslims will then die, and the Muslims will pray over him. Abu Dawud said, some transmitted from Hisham 9 years and some 7 years. What's all this? Oh my God, so many. Okay. So various, who's Qalb? I don't know. Anyhow, we go back to that. Hamdi. Maulana Javed Hamdi says, there is no concept of Panjatan in Islam. After having said there is no Imam Mahdi, no basis in Qur'an or Sahih Hadith. Isn't Abu Dawud in the Sahih Sitta? Oh, or no, Sahih Muslim and okay, maybe not in the Sahih Hadith then. Abu Dawud is not Sahih, so he's right. I then correct myself, right? Panjatan Pak, there is no concept of Panjatan. Okay. No concept in Islam. Fadak. The Fadak incident, Hazrat Abu Bakr's decision was according to the Qur'an, in which he did not agree with Hazrat Fatima's claim for an inheritance. Very good, right? I agree with him, 100%. There was an internal dispute in the Ahlul Bayt. Therefore, Hazrat Abu Bakr had to intervene to settle the dispute. There was an internal dispute in the Ahlul Bayt Shias. The Sawaf, Sufis, There is no basis of Piri Muridi in Islam. Prophet Muhammad's parents, Prophet Muhammad's father is in hell, Jahannam. Abu Talib ki Tawbah. According to Hamdi, Hazrat Abu Talib, the benefactor of the Prophet, was a non-Muslim until his death. Questions and answers from Hamdi team, Al-Mawrid, the reality of the dispute between the Umayyads and the Banu Hashim. Question, very interesting. But I don't think I can go on here like this, right? Okay, so how long? This is very, very long. I think I'll save it. I have saved it in my Fox. So this, very interesting. Look at the contradictions, divisions, insulting one another. Please help me. I have got much confusion about the Sahaba. Let me clear my question. No. Allah bichare. So they are asking questions and all this. Radi Allah for Yazid, he said. Zakir Naik. You remember I told you in Karachi there was this thing, Shias protested nicely, declared Karbala as a political war. I was shocked because we have been listening that Yazid was accursed, mal'oon, and a brutal, solemn person. And the honor, please, actually the most mal'oon and brutal, solemn person was Prophet Muhammad. So that's right. Bichari, you see how lost they are still. I can't take it. Please just empty yourselves, empty yourselves, empty yourselves. There's nothing. Start with nothing. Don't rely. You see so many questions left unanswered, so many confusions, so many deviations in Islam. They're called like this. One book and so much. Insulting one another, calling each other deviants. If not infidels, completely kafirs, completely. Very, very sad for my heart. I could not take it. But I had to take it. I still cannot take it. But I'm still taking it. So that's why it makes me so angry. The poor people, they're in the dark, groping, asking questions still. I was shocked. I was shocked about this. When I grew up, like, what is this Sunni Shia? Oh my God, how much they hate. And why would they hate Prophet Muhammad's grandson, the oppressed? Right? Followers. Followers. And that we got it, Shias got it wrong. And they feel they've got it right. And what did he say in Karbala? I'm the grandson. I have the haq. It's my haq. You should give bed to me. He wanted to save Islam. Prophet Muhammad's grandson, Hussein, said this. And even the Sahabas were quiet when you read the Maqtal, Karbala. Some of the Sahabas were with Yazid. Now you know why. Now I know why. So I've already spoken on this. Now, so this poor Sheikh, really Shia Sheikh, I wish he would come to just leave all this and come to Jiddu Krishnamurti. I may sound a little arrogant or, more, but I don't want to show you my cry here or throw up here, right? So that's why I have to do it like this. But I don't mean any disrespect. But what I mean is, have some Careful, for God's sakes, you'll be learning this book, which is all terrible, blacklisted, should be, which is not worth it. Find your book, find your verse, Dead Poets Society. What would your verse be? Quote from the movie Dead Poets Society. I added some, find your book. The book of life is this, I don't know. So find your song. Find the filter within. Where's the filter? With honest this, don't waste your time in books. Holy scriptures even. So, this, right? And this terrible monster. Please don't, sheikhs, careful with respect. Oh my God. I don't know how to say it properly now. What else should be blacklisted? Like a god who would be asking Surah Hashar ayat 2? I can't even, and before we obliterate. How many have I found now? How many? I haven't counted. Before we obliterate your faces. Huh? Oh. And I'm stuck on this. I really cannot get it. How the devil helped him, I must say now. Right? 13, Surah Nisa. And when a section of them said, O people of Yathrib. You see how they've changed it in tafsirs. Now there is no place for you to stay. So turn back. Where are they going to go? Was it the Badouan Yathribs who were asked to face such an army? Or they will submit? And so of course these were not hypocrites telling them. These are people of Yathrib, not the Muslims with Rasulullah, right? Because it says, O people of Yathrib, in the Qur'an ayat. It's not in brackets. It says, and when said a party. Can I show you? No, I'll the translator.
يثرب يا أهل يثرب
Ahla, Yathriba. Where this Ahla Yathriba? Prophet Muhammad can't be Ahla Yathriba. His family can't be, his Allah can't be Ahla Yathriba. No. These are the Ahla Yathriba, yes. You have no, Yathrib, no stand for you. So return and ask permission, a group of them, from the Prophet. So they asked permission of the Prophet. So the Prophet could have told them that these hypocrites called out and said, you have no stand. So don't listen to them. Do not hearken to the hypocrites and the disbelievers, saying, indeed, our houses are exposed. So there's an evil man who comes with the news, they are hypocrites. And not they were exposed. Not they wished, but to flee. While they were not exposed, they did not intend except to flee. The intention was to flee. I see. I'm defeated in I can't explain this. And if I can't show you, And if they had, I'm shocked, and if they had been entered upon from all its surrounding regions, and fitna, I disbelief, had been demanded of them. Now there's more heavy blame. They would have done it, and not hesitated over it, except briefly. Oh, and they had already promised Allah before not to turn their backs, and ever is the promise of Allah not to turn their backs, which one will be questioned, not to turn their backs. They had promised Allah before. Amazing. I'm clapping, no mata. Oh, say, O Muhammad, never will fleeing benefit you. If you should flee from death or killing, and then if you did, you would not be given enjoyment of life except for a little. Say, who is it that can protect you from Allah? If He intends for you an ill or intends for you a mercy. Wait a minute, didn't Prophet Muhammad slip as a prophet when the wives were annoying? Surah Tahrim ayat. Right? We are told Allah, Angel Gabriel, the righteous among the believers, and moreover, angels will assist him. Where were the angels when he took an oath, pleasing his annoying wives who had become now non-Muslims, right? Because they were annoying the Prophet, it's not allowed. Or maybe you'd say the wife, Ummul Mu'mineen. No, even if you are a Sahaba, then you are a hypocrite. Even Ummul Mu'mineens can do lewdness openly, then they will be doubly punished. Say, who is it that can protect you from Allah? If He intends for you an ill. So did Allah intend Prophet Muhammad? Allah didn't come. He was quiet. He didn't send His revelation. Sorry, meaning what I'm saying is Allah didn't come. Is that Allah's revelation didn't come. And intends for you a mercy. Allah intends ill? Wait a minute. Can Allah ever intend ill for you? Any harm? Wait a minute. Shias, look at this. We have been reading this like brainwashed people. No. See, this is serious thing. Tell me. Can Allah ever intend ill for you? This is Shaitan. Say, who is it that can protect? Please open your eye. What I mean to say is, please be unbiased for a little while. Drop everything, be nothing, and read this. Can the Supreme Creator, Allah, that only Allah, can He ever intend arada? You say the gods, she cursed that one, goddesses, that, can Allah ever intend for you any harm? It doesn't say, can Allah ever intend for you any harm? I'm saying it. It says, if Allah intends for you any harm. So, like, can Toba, Na'uzubillah, this is it. No. Allah would never intend. Allah is all good. The pillars, Usul-e-Din or Furu-e-Din of Shia is what? One of them is what? Allah is just. If I tell someone that what if Allah intended harm for me? Nauzubillah Zahra, you are doing kufr. Or when I say despair, when I'm despairing, what they used to tell me, don't despair. Allah's mercy. Surely Allah forgives all sins. That ayat, Qur'an ayat. Do not despair of Allah's mercy. Surely He forgives all sins. So despairing is kufr, right? Being in despair is kufr. Disbelief. Disbelief, right? Say, who is it that can protect you from Allah? If, now he's used Allah, like if he intends harm to you, for you, any harm, for you any harm, or he intends for you a mercy. Rahmatan. This from Shaitan, I tell you. You see again in Surah Hud, if mercy I remove from them, then they become so, of course it automatically will happen that you will become evil. What is unmerciful? When we say, we don't say he's a wicked person. What if we say, he has no mercy? He's merciless. Means he's the most wicked person ever, right? Rahmatan. And do not they will find for them besides Allah, that's it. You used Allah and see how he brainwashes. I've caught him here. All that previously I was examining, saying, where will I go? Who will help me? Today, the true God has helped me. Surah 33, ayat 17, answer has been given. The veils have dropped. Allah will never intend any harm. How can he even put a if there? Never. Not a question. Don't put if here. That's it. You see how I caught him? Finally. Discovery online. That's why I do this. I don't even know when the answer will come to me, how the answer will come to me. Finally it came today. I thought I had concluded about Surah Ahzab ayat 30. Harm. Su'an. Su'an. Harm. Any harm. Su'an. Any harm. You see this? Here I caught him, thank God. So I can rest in peace today. For today, Christopher Machoko, thank you. If you're still here, oh God, I don't know how to thank you for that. And since you've been here, thank you. So it's been like 2 hours or what? 1 hour. Okay, people, see this, Muslims. This is not for this book should be blacklisted. Only studied for a religious tyrant. If you want to study a religious tyrant's book. And how Dajjal used Allah the Creator and all this religion. Then you must study it. Don't give it to your children. Don't give it to your siblings, generations, young generation. Not even to the elderly to keep studying this, reading this. This is pathetic. You will lose out so much. If you're intense and ill, if God wishes to mercy, or who can if God wishes to harm you, why would God wish to harm you? No, there's no question. Nauzubillah. Astaghfirullah. Say to them, who can protect you? All translations in English. If he desires an evil for you, would he ever desire an evil? That's it. Finish. This book is khatam. Please, beautiful people, you are blessed. You are not sinners. You weren't born. You don't need messengers like this. You need masters. We need healers, spiritual healers. Open your hearts. Find love inside. Stop hating because of disbelief or this. No, not because of, don't hate because of disbelief. And don't kill even because you hate them. Just disassociate from harmful people. Oh my God. I thought some God has helped me. You see? All that up there in the ayats. Now you see how, even as a Shia, I would leave it now. Because I saw it. No, if there's no question of God being intending ill, he had something against Allah also. And the polytheists, the believers in even one God at that time, perhaps if there were any, he had something against them. Because they would not impose their religion on others, compelling. There's an ayat which says, would you compel them? Then Allah would never, no if here, okay? Today, I've shown you. Since I couldn't show you through those ayats, another ayat helped me. 17 ayat of Surah. No if. Allah would never intend any evil, harm, or ill to you. Ever. Understand? When you understand all that, one God, don't call on any other, na'udzubillah, don't despair, because God's mercy, that's kufr, that's disbelief. Hope for God. Believe in God. Hope. Positive. How can there be an if here even? If there's an if here, then there's a question of Allah wanting to harm you, intending to harm you. At times, if, in, if, meaning if. In is in Arabic, right? If. Okay? Thank you. Thank God. Look how I found it. All that, oh people of Yathrib, what Muhammad did to you, this Dajjal. Devil. Thank you so much for the likes. Please spread the word. Please share sparingly. You can download on your, if you like, download it. Take it and share it sparingly. Let's get all humanity in love, oneness, peace, and harmony, and help make up this beautiful world, this beautiful existence, better place for all in peace, harmony, and love. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day, all of you. God bless you. Allah, Christopher Machoko, thank you so much for being here. God bless you, your family members, your country, your friends, your acquaintances. Much always. Have a wonderful, blessed day.